Well, with the recent jump in multi-tool prices, Leatherman, I wanted to find the best plier-based multi-tool when you're on a budget. And after a bunch of use, cutting wire, driving screws, popping open cans, pulling up nails, there we go, cutting up cardboard, prying, and punching holes in leather. Right. I feel confident that the Gerber suspension NXT is that tool, and here's why. Accessibility. All of these tools you can access from the exterior of the multi-tool without having to open it up. And you're gonna usually have to pay over double the price of this multi-tool to get that type of access to all of the implements that it offers. And if that doesn't have you hooked, I paid $30 for this multi-tool over on Amazon. That's less than what some of you spend on your coffee runs in a week. Just do some pour over, guys. Tastes better, and it'll save you a ton of money. Now, of course, prices fluctuate over time. If you're watching this 3 years from now, this may be $40, $50, who knows? But as long as the ratio of what this costs in comparison to most other multi-tools that are offering what we're about to dive into today, this is going to be one of the better values for a plier-based exterior accessible multi-tool that I've found. And so as I dive into the more nuances of its capabilities and also some drawbacks that I see in the design, because for 30 bucks, you can't have everything, I will have links over to my Amazon store as well as the other affiliate programs that I regularly partner with, so that if this multi-tool makes sense for you throughout this video or just purchases in general, I appreciate when you purchase through those links. And for those of you who are new to the channel or you've been watching for a while but just never subscribed, I invite you to smash that like button and to subscribe, and make sure to hit that bell icon so that you can be notified every week when I put up new content, giving you in-depth walkthroughs and breakdowns of your favorite gear and new equipment that's just hit the market. And for you loyal subscribers, thank you so much. Without you, I can't do what I do. You guys are amazing, and thank you for being a part of the Gideon's Tactical family. Now, before we get to the exterior tools, how about these pliers? Well, first off, we test, do they connect near the tip right there? If there's a gap, there's a problem. This has a nice connection point right there, and you can see just a little bit of light through the back end, and this is after all of my use. So it's holding up well, connecting well, and I would say they're about 99% lined up. So that's a good starting point with those good needle nose. I like needle nose over blunt tip. For that reason, you can just get into tighter spots. Now, the teeth here to hold bolts worked really well. You can grip most small to medium size bolts that you would need to grab to loosen up or hold if you have, say, a drill gun or you're using some sort of screwdriver on the opposite end like I was for this particular test. Followed up by the wire cutters. Now, these cutters connect, they don't overlap, so how well can they get through material? All right, so a few bounced off somewhere, but did 10 sections of this coated plastic weaved cable with multiple strands in it. Easily snap through it, and then not too difficult stripping off the coating because of the way that they connect in the back. Right back there, there's enough that you can not really mar too badly. So no marring so far. Let's go ahead and do some galvanized wire. All right, so that was 16 gauge wire, and that was 10 cuts, and I'm not seeing any light through the connection point there, meaning that there would be deforming of the cutters. So I can tell they're basically lined up for light duty use. I wouldn't be going much more than that. And it is important to know the capabilities and also limitations of this tool. It is a light duty, casual use multi-tool. It is not in the range of heavy duty, professional use for those who are mechanics and handymen, or those who work in the trades like I did for a few years as an electrician's apprentice. You're gonna need to bulk up the multi-tool and its capabilities if you think you're gonna be using it multiple times a day, every day for your job and or major hobbies. This is for the homeowner or the outdoorsman who likes to go out on the weekends or fix things around the home when possible. And in combination with the spring-loaded aspect, I love it. It really does does give you the grip that you want. They've contoured and rounded the exterior body so it doesn't bite excessively with sharp edges, so you can put pressure down to grip that bolt or cut through that wire that you may need. And because it's spring loaded, it feels very intuitive to be able to use in multiple scenarios and keep cutting through that wire over and over again, and there's not this extra move fatiguing your hand over time. I was pleased with the combination of strength and ergonomics of the pliers because I was able to pull out a bent over nail without much difficulty and get that out of a piece of wood, and it was ergonomic as I was really clamping down and not biting into my hand, and then the pliers were able to grip that well, and I never had any slippage off of the nail, making it difficult to do that task. Now, as we transition to the exterior, one thing of note that's excellent is that all the exterior tools lock. There's this pullback spring-loaded lock that is on either side, so you can truly disengage on one side and then close, and that's gonna be for every single tool, or you can just do a pinch grip and pull back. So it's nice to see that, and it's easy and comfortable and intuitive to manipulate each tool. Now the blade over here is gonna be a combo edge, not my preference, but I'll take it, particularly at the price point. It's about 2¼ inches long, and it does a rudimentary job. It's by no means like the most epic slicer. A lot of Leatherman's hollow ground plain edge blades will slice better than this one, but it did an okay job getting through cardboard and cordage and, you know, getting through the zip ties and other material that you would basically just do really quick generic cuts, opening a package for your kid's toy that just arrived, or, you know, cutting that thing off that you just needed to do around the shop or around the home. I would not be breaking down tons of boxes or doing carving and whittling around the campsite with this blade. On the same side, we follow that up with a flathead as well as a wire stripper. And guys, this is why I test stuff and not just do unboxing videos for you. I did some stripping with that coated cable, and it was rudimentary. It did okay. I mean, if you really know what you're doing, you can kind of get it, but it's easier to just use the pliers themselves and do a rotate cut to be able to strip off any coating on a wire that you may be doing. So, I mean, it's there, and if you want to try it out, you can, but I would just go that route. The flathead works exactly as it should. Following that up with a 2-for-1 with a bottle opener and then a can opener that is sharp.
Nice, that pushes right through. Sweet. So this will give you access to food. Would we call that a survival tool? Maybe.
So leave a comment below. Let me know if you think having a can opener is vital for a survival multi-tool. Be interesting to know your guys' thoughts. So that followed up by the scissors. And guys, these are dope scissors. Spring loaded and really snappy. Look at how snappy that is. Smooth and sharp. Intuitive to the motion, so I was super pleased that it comes with scissors and that they are very functional. So for fishing, especially, for those of you using this maybe in the outdoors, it would be excellent for that, but also just cutting stuff around the home. You know, you don't know where the scissors are and you're trying to wrap that last minute Valentine's or birthday gift for your loved one. You know, it's a good backup to have. Now as we rotate to the opposite side, you do have about a 2-inch 3D Phillips head driver that I really wanted to test out.
All right, we got 3 different types of Phillips head right there, and now let's back them all out just to see how this handles different sizes, different lengths, if it strips any of them out.
So it didn't mar any of the heads of multiple size screws, and really having a 3D Phillips head to me is pretty important on my multi-tools. You know, for about 30 bucks, you can get a lot of Victorinox Swiss Army tools that are excellent, but in that price range, I'm not aware of one that has a 3D Phillips head driver, and trying to get a Phillips head with a flathead bit is always problematic and mars the screw and is often very difficult. Having a razor sharp awl is always nice to see because it gives you a lot of versatility in areas where you don't want to use your knife.
Full edge that is just sharp enough to be able to do a lot of different work. Open up that hole. Ah, yeah, look at that. Boom. Nice. So one thing I really like doing with an awl, if it's sharp enough, is using it as a marker when I'm measuring wood and if I don't have my pen around. And that's a really good, did a really good job right there.
And finally, we do have more of a pry tool or flathead. You can use it as a flathead as well. It's gonna be right around that 2 inches ballpark, because this is saying 1.5 inches, but that's not the full length. So I'm gonna say almost 2 inches or 4 centimeters. It has a little ruler, but I never trust those things. And I don't know what I would really measure 1.5 inches or 4 millimeters with accurately with this. Tool can definitely handle that light duty torquing and prying that you may need to do, again, just doing rudimentary tasks. And then you have a 1 grit file as well, so that you can use that in multiple rolls, use that on some wood, and it absolutely took the corner off very quickly. So some basic filing that you need to do in a pinch where you don't know where your main file is or it's buried in the toolkit, this is a good replacement. Now, a lot of multi-tools come with a pouch and no pocket clip. This is the reverse. You get a pocket clip and no pouch. So if you like pouch carry, you're gonna have to get an aftermarket model. And there is an exterior pass-through polymer lanyard hole right there if you wanna run a lanyard on it. This pocket clip is large, got a little bit of flex to it, but seems to retain well in my pocket. I carried it for 2 days as my main ADC, didn't carry a knife and just did it as a pocket carry. It's bulky, absolutely. I mean, it takes up a lot of space, it's pretty wide back here. So, you know, I wouldn't be carrying it as my dedicated ADC pocket tool per se. But if you're just working around your property or on a campsite and you're throwing it in your pocket, it will absolutely ride there. And it's rather lightweight, about 6.7 ounces, and it's just over 1/2 inch thick at 0.54 inches thick and about 4.5 inches long when closed. So it's about that same size as a lot of other light duty, mid-sized pocket multi-tools that are out there. Now, like myself, I'm sure you're seeing that there's a lot to like about this tool, and particularly at that price point, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. And it mainly comes down to the tightness of the tool. There's a lot of flex side to side when I do that. You can see how much that torques. And if we look at the Leatherman Wave Plus, now again, $120 now in 2023. So I mean, what would that be? 4 times the price, basically. I mean, it flexes, but just micronically. I mean, there's just barely any flex on there, and that's just a testament to the quality. And even though there are torque bolts and screws all the way through holding it together, so it's not pinned, which is really good. So I mean, there is the level of maintenance. These are torqued down basically as far as they will go, and I am finding that some of the implements on my model are just a little loose. You can see there, I'm actually bouncing out the blade and all the tools with beep, 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 beep. Now, when you're gripping it and you're actually using it, that doesn't seem to happen. And if I flick like this real hard, I mean, it'll loosen up a little bit with the screwdriver side. On the blade side, none of them come out. And if I could just torque it down like 1/2 turn, I know that would take care of it, but it's basically about as snug as it will go. I can't seem to get it to go any snugger. So that's a little bit of a disappointment, but that's just a compromise we have to make if we want a budget-friendly tool in this price range, made overseas. It does carry Gerber's lifetime warranty on it. I have had to use that twice in my life, and they are quick to respond and replace whatever tools I've damaged over the years. So that's a plus with this multi-tool, but that's just something that you have to weigh when you are considering a budget-friendly plier-based multi-tool like this NXT. So there you have it, guys. I appreciate you so much for coming over today, spending your time with me, checking out this piece of gear. Let me know your thoughts on the suspension NXT from Gerber. If you already own one, how has it performed and held up for you over the years or over the months? And if you're interested or have questions that maybe I missed, I'll do my best to answer them in the comment section below. Until next time, again, I invite you to subscribe, check out the other video popping up, and always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.